Usually when I make this type of worst gacha ever videos, the first thing that I like showcasing is the gameplay before I go into the rest of the stuff regarding the company, the community, the graphics, the gacha, the shop, etc. In this case, however, I want to change things a little bit because this game really pissed me off, tilted me the wrong way. So I want to start by showcasing the game and the company behind this game, because I think this type of game has no place in 2024. This is a cash grab, nothing else. So before we start, hello the internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi. Today we have a new worst gacha ever, and this time it's for the Legend of Heroes Gap. Now, some of you might recognize the Legend of Heroes, and that's why this kind of tilted me off. Because for those of you who don't know, Legend of Heroes is a long-running series of JRPG games, and by long I don't mean just a little bit, like a couple of years or something. No, the first game that they released was 1989. 1989, all the way into this year, releasing the last one, which is Kaino Kiseki. So we're talking about the series that has found, it's not super popular, it's not Final Fantasy, it's not a series that's critically acclaimed, but found its own audience and its own niche. And for the longest time, they've been running their own games and have plenty of titles to play. But then they decided, you know what we should do? You know what people surely want to see? All of the stories through the years, but we should make all of the characters gacha on a low percentage, on a shit game with barely any gameplay or any effort. I'm pretty sure that's what people want to see, and that's how this game came out. Now, this game was announced 2 years ago. As you can see, right, Nihon Falcon announces licensing deal with 4 games in developing a mobile RPG based on the Legend of Heroes Gap trilogy. Now, it looks like, they were like, okay, maybe we didn't make enough money after all of these years making these games. It's time to license this as make a mobile title. So this is how this came out. And the comments 2 years ago already were saying this, all right? I smell shitty mobile game based on good old game. And then there was one more right here. I think here, I still have the game for my PSP. Please don't abuse them for a shitty gacha game. Now, sadly, that's what happened. So the company that licensed this game, it's 4 games, and they have mobile MMOs. And if you have played any mobile MMO, you know that they are quite disgusting. I would put them a notch below gacha games, because they are gacha games, but are worse in my opinion. We could also cover some mobile MMOs if you guys are interested on those titles, and we can also criticize them as gachas, because most of them, 99% of them, are gachas. So that's the company behind the game, alright? They were a great company making games for like 20 plus years, a well-beloved saga, and then they were like, you know what, nothing, we need to license and make a mobile game. So that's about the company. Let's start actually talking about the game itself and what it's about, right? Because you might think, okay, Sefhi, enough yapping about the game, show us the gameplay, please. What does the gameplay looks like? Okay, so let's go into battle. I'm not gonna go into the story itself. I'm gonna go into the book of exploration, which is basically gold farming. Okay, I'm gonna go to stage 2 because I know I can beat it. Ready, and we just fight. You can bring 5 characters into battle with up to 3 battle tools, which will be your usual potions and items that will help you in the battle. Now, combat is an auto battler. I have no problem with auto battlers if they are properly done, if the graphics are decent, and if the animations are good. In this case, there are no animations when the characters have ultimates. The quality in general is quite low, as you can see. And for me, graphics themselves is not an issue. Like, my favorite game, it's Terraria. I have no problem with games having low quality graphics, so even though Terraria is not low quality, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't mind the graphics of a game, but in this case the gameplay is just trash. Now, those are the stages to farm. There is also a story with a lot of missions and a lot of things that you can actually be doing, as you can see, where you'll go around beating different stages. Now, the story is more of the same. Like, if I come here, this is the next stage that I need to beat, which is 4-8. I have a lot of missions to do, and I can just come here and actually fight. Now, this team is not my team, so I'm gonna get completely destroyed because I forgot to actually change my team. Hey, game, please use my formation. I also don't like that the game does not remember your last formation, so you need to change it on every single game mode. Just kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Now, the other thing that I don't like, and you will notice, is that there is a stamina system. So they really took like a really good IP, right? A really cool IP that was beloved over the years, and they added every possible system in game to make it worse. Now, the game does have a couple systems that are quite nice, and I'm gonna be at least giving them that. So let me finish this level in a second, and I'll show those systems to you. So the only system that I will say in this game is like, okay, that's pretty cool that you don't need to be grinding for this, is the gear progression system. Gear progression in this game, let me go out, please. Gear progression in this game is pretty nice, because if I come here and I go to gear and I go here and I go to gear progression, enhance, as you'll see, you only enhance this slot for the weapons, for the armor, for the accessory, and the last one which we don't have is the accessory, but this is for every single character. So if I upgrade this slot for the weapons, this is for all characters. Now all characters have a weapon on +2, now all characters have an armor on +2, so on and so forth. I like this type of system in games where you don't have to be worrying about, okay, what do I have to level up now, how many pieces do I have, inventory management, because most of this game have really awful inventory management, making it a lot easier when you have systems like this that will help you a little bit with that progression, right? So that gear progression I like. When it comes to the character progression themselves, of course, dupes are really strong. Now, of course, you also have this potential system, which you can grind this no problem, which is your max level. And then you also have skins. I haven't seen any skin yet in the shop that you can get. Once again, in terms of the art, I think the L2Ds here for the character, right, the animation are pretty good. I really like them. It's your usual JRPG style. When it comes to the sprites themselves, I do not mind this style. When it comes to graphics, when it comes to gameplay, there's nothing else. That is the gameplay. There is a lot of story to go through. I'm not gonna talk about the quality of the story because you will know I don't care. I don't play a gacha game for the story. If I want to play a game for a story, I'll get single players. I play for account progression, collection, etc. So that's it about gameplay. Let's talk a little bit about not only the graphics, which I already gave my opinion, but the UI. The graphics, like I was saying, I don't mind. I think it's not that bad, okay? I am someone who is pretty simple to please when it comes to UIs. You can have the most simple, basic bitch UI, and I will not complain because it's whatever. So for me, both the graphics and the UI, it's decent. I think the UI could come off or could come across as kind of cheap, but that's completely up to you, right? Now, before we go into the gacha and the shop, I want to mention something that when I open the game, tilts me a lot. So first of all, it's the stamina, because it's like 8 minutes to recover one piece of stamina, and you can only go up to 200 even if it says 300. The other is like extra. The other thing that tilts me, other than the stamina system, which I hate, is the amount of currency the game has. So if you open here, this is all the currency the game has. As you can see, there is pickup summons, there is hero summons, there is weapon summon tickets, there is gold, there is the red garments, there is the blue garments, and there is more and more and more currency. Every time you see a game with so much currency, which is every gacha, but a new gacha should have to aim less currency and introduce it over time. Over time, it's fine. You can keep introducing more and more currency. A good example of this is Nikke. Nikke is a bad game on a lot of fronts, but when it was released, there was barely any type of currency. We had like 5-6 type of currency, right? Like with your Cordas, credits, battle data set, your gems, and your vouchers, right? It was not that bad. But when it comes to games like this that just released with so many different types of currencies, it is bad. Now, after talking about the currency, about the gameplay, the UI, let's move a little bit into the gacha and the shop. Starting with the gacha, which is probably what everyone is most interested about, and when it comes to this type of videos. When it comes to this type of game, this type of gacha, I expect them to have good rates. I expect this type of gacha to be easy to collect most characters, because your game is shit. You have nothing to offer, so you at least better give me the option to collect all the characters that I like how they look, right? I think that's pretty fair to expect. Now, every 100 characters, you get the SSR, the rate up character. There is no rate up banner yet, but every 100 characters pulls, you will be able to obtain that SSR. When it comes to the rates, it's a 3%. It's not that bad. It's not that bad, but they do not give enough currency with your dailies and your weeklies, in my opinion. Again, in my opinion, right? There is also at account level 8, which I'm not gonna be getting to account level 8, a weapon banner, which God bless weapon banners, you all know I love that shit. I don't know who thought that making weapon banners was a good idea. I assume it was Hoyo who popularized it. Actually, no, I'm assuming it was other gachas before that, right? Because FGO also has this type of gacha. I'm pretty sure Grand Blue Fantasy also. So all of those older gachas did popularize this stuff. And when it comes to the animation itself of the pulling, it's also quite weak. If I do a multi right here, personally, I believe this is really weak. This is the animation. That cube, if it's gold, you get the SSR. If it's not gold, you just didn't get the SSR. So you know what you get before you even play that animation. We got a new purple character, which is, hey, I'll take this. I'll take this girl. I'll take this girl, Fatima. Now, when it comes to the characters, there is a lot of characters. Since this series has been running for 20 plus years, there is a lot of characters to collect. The issue, like I was saying, is not the 3% per se, but the amount of currency you get. Now, for some people, the rewards on your daily missions might be enough, because they give you, I think it's like a single every single day plus some gems, right? So a single and some gems. And then on your weeklies, you're gonna be getting a multi and some other gems, I think like 200 gems. For some people, this might be enough. I still personally think that given the 3% that you have, given the quality of the game overall, it's not enough, because outside of these weekly and daily missions, there is barely any income for gems themselves after you're done clearing your campaign. Now, the game, again, like I was saying, this is because of the type of game it is and the quality it has to offer for most people. I don't think it's enough. When it comes to the shop, I also think you should not be asking for this type of prices if this is the quality that you're gonna be having, right? Because you have your normal events, then you have your normal packs, all the way up to $70, all the way up to $100, which is just buying garnets. This is this premium currency, and then you also can buy some stamina every single day with the premium currency. There is also some event packs that will give you more than what the other packs are giving, and then you will also have your usual $1 pack, which will give you some gear rather than a character. Most gachas for $1 will give you a character, and this one just gives you gear, which is like, no thank you. And then there is no monthly card, there is no battle pass. Every time you get a character, you'll get a pop-up telling you, hey, do you wanna spend $30 to get a dupe of this character plus some resources to level him up? Which is pretty common, I will say, pretty standard. I don't like it, but it's pretty standard. Overall, the shop is super weak. There is not a lot of options to buy. There is no monthly card, which is the biggest value on any gacha, and that's how you know this is a cash grab, because they're not even offering you a package that you will receive for a month currency. There is nothing. Now, some people will be saying like, oh, Seth, but that's good because there is no FOMO to be logging in every day into this. You still need to log in to do your dailies and your weeklies. What are you talking about? It's exactly the same. It's a gacha game. They want to keep you inside the game as much as possible. So when it comes to the gacha, it's not super bad considering it's a 3% and every 100 pulls is a guaranteed SSR, but the currency is not enough. When it comes to the shop, it's one of the weakest shops for any gacha that I've seen, offering only packs with premium currency, no monthly card, no battle pass, no nothing. Combat and gameplay wise, it's not that bad. When it comes to the company, we talked about this already at the start of the video. So I want to talk about the community. So since yesterday, this is the general chat of the game on Discord. Since yesterday, this is all the message we've gotten. Like even on a daily basis, there is not that many messages. I don't know if the original company is the one running this, or is 4 Games, which were the contractors that licensed this, which already leaves like a bad impression on how you want to handle your game, your community manager, your community management, and in general everything. Even if we talk about like their Twitter, they have no news on the Twitter. There is YouTube, has nothing. We have here to the YouTube. They have 36 subs. They only did this video a couple of weeks ago. When it comes to the Twitter, I don't think they have a Twitter. All right, I tried finding their Twitter. Doesn't look like they have one, so I cannot show that. But as you can see, in terms of community for a game that just launched, even though it's a soft launch, I don't care. Even if it's a soft launch, you are doing absolutely nothing to promote your game or to actually talk with your community. Shout out to Astromir. I didn't see him here. What are you doing here, Astro? This bozo. So when it comes to community, when it comes to the company behind, it feels like a cash grab. It feels like they don't care enough. To me, this game screams low effort, low quality, and a company that most likely in a couple months before the official release will either just abandon the project or completely stop updating. We'll see over time how this progresses, but honestly, when it comes to this game, I would not even recommend trying it yourself. Usually I tell people, try the game yourself, see if you like it, but with so many alternatives nowadays for gachas, why would you even try this game? All that said, as usual, this is going to be it for this video, guys. Do let me know if you would play this, if you have played any of the Legend of Heroes games, and how you feel about this mobile version. Thank you to my patrons for making this content possible. Love you all, bossos. Have a great day. Good luck with your pool data rates, and see you in the next one. 役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。